Hello there, everybody. Bedrock Builder here again. Wanted to show you a few of the fish and squidding farm designs I've been working on. This is here in my survival world. This is the squidding farm I decided to build for me. This is essentially a 41 by 41 platform made out of light source blocks built over a deep ocean biome, completely filled in with water. The big change with 1.16 is that squid, fish, dolphin, they no longer will spawn in flowing water. It has to be a water source block itself. So that really changed the farms. So what I decided to do was just have a very large pool to have as many spawnable spaces as possible and to use the natural hatred the guardians have of the squid to my advantage. The squid spawn in, and the guardians promptly zap them. Everything's collected down below via mine carts. Just going back and forth. Not the best collection system, but it's what worked for me. I tried coming up with other designs that incorporated flowing water, and it just became kind of messy, and I just thought simpler would be better. It's not the most ideal collection system, but hey, it works. This does put out quite a bit of ink, in ink only, so that's nice. You don't have to filter out any other items or deal with any unwanted drops. It is a little bit dangerous dealing with the guardians, because once they can focus in on you, they will zap you pretty fast. Just like that. I found out the hard way that even with a totem of undying and a freshly eaten golden apple, they will still kill you. I was hoping to nudge one of them into place because I'm not sure if you've seen, I have a few of them in the perimeter in mine carts, but I forgot to lock those mine carts into place, and they've been nudged around over time. And I was hoping to just kind of hop in the pool real quick, and yeah, no, they won't. I just like, okay, I'll eat an apple, have my totem in hand, I'll run in real quick, nudge him into place, and be done. And yeah, no, I woke up back in my bed, back at spawn point. So yeah, just be careful if you decide to do something like this. It's built about 60 blocks above the surface of the water down below, just to make sure there's no mobs down below interfering with our farm. I have a guardian farm, so it's pretty easy to import the guardians themselves. I just used one of my tapped into one of my unused spawn locations in the guardian farm and set up a portal there. One thing I've noticed is that mobs don't despawn if you bring them through the nether. I don't believe any of these have name tags on them. Just as an experiment, I thought I'd just leave them as is to see if they'd stick around, and they've stuck around. I have a few, like I said, locked into mine carts. The rest I let free to roam, hunt and kill as they please. They do a great job. You want to be about 30 to 40 blocks above the spawn platform. That seems to be the range that the squid like the best. I do have a few other designs I've been working on. Take a peek over my creative world and show you a couple of other options you might have. They're all pretty easy builds. I'm not sure you want a tutorial for them, but we can go ahead and put one together if you guys feel like it. But let's head on out of here and head over to the creative world. Let's go check that stuff out. All right, over here in my creative world, I've been playing with a few different things. Wanted to see how much space they needed to spawn. It turns out that they like to have a few blocks of water, not just a single strip of water source blocks. So you can't really pack them in too tight, is what it turns out. They like to have at least two blocks of water, if not three. Three seems to be the best rates for as far as a minimum amount of water. I played with a few different designs. The idea of kind of like having steps of platforms that go up to make sure we have as many spawnable spaces and the smallest space possible. But what happens is with these confined spaces, I noticed the rates really dropped off, and the amount of like button placement and you know, building like these kind of cramped, tight structures. It's just not a whole lot of fun. But it does have the benefit of having a centralized, simplified collection system because everything kind of flows towards the center off the platforms. If the magma blocks don't kill them directly after spawning, the water column that they fall into eventually will kill them. Oh, you know what? I think I have mob spawning turned off. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, then everything kind of falls down here, and like I said, if the magma in front of their spawn location doesn't kill them, the magma on the bottom here will, and eventually everything gets collected down here. But like I said, with this type of setup, even though there are quite a few spawnable blocks within this setup, within this farm, they just don't like it. That's what I've found. They just like open spaces and multiple water sources nearby. But this farm works. It works okay. For the amount of effort, though, I just wasn't too happy with the results, particularly with the squid ink. Not really looking for fish. Bone is great for bone meal farms. Bone meal powered everything in Bedrock, right? But the squid ink is what I was really hoping to get, and this setup just didn't work out. So I decided to go ahead and really focus in on squid alone, and that's when I came across a video from Rayworks, and he used in Java, he utilized a ocean monument, and I think I have a setup around here. He used quite brilliantly the ranges in Java to find the perfect range where the guardians will spawn and the squid will spawn, but only in the topmost layer of the ocean. So he will AFK way up high at the extreme of the spawn limit, and the guardians will and the squid will only spawn in the top layer of the ocean, where he has flying machines pushing the dropped squid ink off to collections on the side. Unfortunately, in Bedrock, that just doesn't work because the ranges for our spawns are so much different. To get close enough to the monument for the guardians to spawn, the problem is you're going to have squid spawning down below past them. So you'd have to do a lot of spawn proofing in the ocean or draining of the ocean to make it work. And you'd have to find flying machines in Bedrock that are more reliable and can work in the water, because as the water gets displaced and refills, it causes a lot of havoc with the flying machines. So I tried, but I could not find a situation or a solution that worked. But Rayworks' video was a great inspiration, and it really got me thinking about using guardians instead of, say a trident killer or fall damage or magma blocks, and use guardians to quick kill the squid instead. So I decided to start building a few more tests over in a deep frozen ocean, since that's the ideal spot for building a squid ink farm, since we don't have dolphins to compete with. Don't want them eating up whatever mob cap that they share. This would be like your most basic setup for squid ink only. You could just build a platform about 60-70 blocks above the surface, fill it with water. Like I said, make sure you use light source blocks so the water doesn't freeze. Just hang out here until the squid show up, jump down, welcome them to the world with a sword to the face, collect your goods, and head back up top. I mean, of course, that's a very manual, labor-intensive version, but if you're looking for, something cheap, quick and easy, and gives you quick access to some ink, without too much hassle, this is what you do. Pretty simple. And to take it a step up and to automate it, all I did was add, the mine carts down below. I believe this farm got trashed. Yeah, I accidentally broke a block and the water fell through, and I haven't felt like fixing it. But yeah, same principle as that. It's just a platform above a deep ocean filled with water. Except this time we have our guardian friends here. I brought them in using a nether portal. It was pretty easy to do. Finding a monument, they're pretty common in the oceans, and all you have to do is isolate one of the spawn locations and have them go into another portal. On that side, you have some rails set up and, ship them on out. Once you have your pool full of guardians, they'll do all the killing for you, and the minecarts do all the collecting. Everything just goes down through a central, column of hoppers that run through the floor and all the way down into a chest. Easy peasy. But for a really super advanced overkill, why would you build this type of thing? Here's an array of nether portals set up over almost the maximum range for the spawn range for the fish. I think it's about 50 to 60 blocks. I'm not sure what the official range is. But this thing is, I don't know why you'd build it, but I wanted to see how what the rates would be like for something like this. So I went ahead and did it. And went ahead and built like a quad trident killer. I wasn't sure with the amount of fish and mobs coming through if a single trident killer would be able to keep up and handle it, but surprisingly it can. I didn't lose anything in as far as the rates in experience or the as far as the overall loot and the number of drops. So a single trident killer actually worked best. And additionally, one of the other perks of having one portal only was that the number of fish coming through the portal really helped to push the squid through, because the squid will get stuck in the portal and suffocate there instead of falling into the trident. I can go ahead and show you how this one works, but this was one of those farms that, as I was building it, I was like, why would you build something like this? But why do you build anything in Minecraft, right? Here we go. This will start getting. Oh, I better fire up that trident killer. All right, you know what? Totally forgot. I guess when I came through, I took the trident that was in the trident killer, so I wasn't getting the loot, wasn't getting the experience, wasn't getting the drops. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's see. Empty the chest just to make sure. See, let this run for 5 minutes. Yeah, with a trident and the trident killer. This should work a lot better, I'm guessing. I think that's long enough of a demonstration. At level 26, that's about, I don't know, that was about 5 minutes. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. Let's see. What do we get out of that? 5 minutes, we got over 3 stacks of the ink and quite a bit of bone. So yeah, this thing really, really cranks, but it's not really a practical build. Especially for something like ink. I never know. Maybe there's something you want to do with an infinite supply of ink that you can get within a few hours. But this is pretty much the setup, just like all the other ones, about 60, 70 blocks over the surface, made out of light source blocks. There's 3 3 blocks in between each portal. These are water source blocks on the first 2 rows, and then this is left blank so that there is a little bit of a stream pushing into the portal. And because the squid are a little bit larger, they will get caught up in this current here and get pulled out. And then the fish tend to explode in groups when they spawn in too, so they will mostly get caught up in the streams and pulled through. I suppose you could start off with a much smaller version of this. You know, kind of build your way up to the size that you need. Maybe just start with, say, a few portals, maybe the quarter of the size of this farm, and then kind of work your way out if you want to keep adding to it. But just keep in mind, you want to base your nether portal coordinates on the center of your eventual farm, because you want that to be kind of central, just in case you have other portals nearby that might link up. Otherwise, if you're building something like this, well, yeah, I could make a tutorial, but I don't think it's necessary. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a platform. Yeah, with lots and lots of portals and lots of spawnable spaces for the squiddies and the fishies, even the ones in between. I think these are 3 water source blocks right there, just to kind of make sure we can get as many as we can. I suppose you can even put water on top of these nether portals here, but yeah, I don't know. That might make a mess. I think the rates are pretty good as it is without making it more complicated, if you wanted to build something like this. I don't know. There's other designs. Not all of them work. A lot of them fail. A lot of them involve buttons, trying to get everything to flow the right way, to get as many water sources crammed into the smallest space possible. But yeah, this design, this is like the practical-ish one. Ink only, decent rates, and yeah. You want to see a tutorial on any of these farms? Let me know. If you have any questions about what you've seen, about spawn mechanics and fish and squid and stuff like that in general. I've learned quite a bit. Go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing well, and go ahead and keep building, crazy stuff, whatever strikes your fancy. I know I have fun playing around with stuff like this. I mean, I think that fish farm would make a pretty killer experience farm if for some reason you wanted to use all that obsidian to build a farm like that instead of a gold experience farm. I don't know. Or maybe you're like me and you just like building stuff for the hell of it. Who knows? If you have a reason you have a need for any of these farms and you'd really like a block by block, step by step tutorial, hit me up in the comments. I'll get back to you. And yeah, I hope you all are faring better in these. Let's just disappear.